Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is Dr. Vidhi Chawla. Thank you for all the love on the nutrition therapy series. I really appreciate it. Today I'm actually having some infused water. So there is water, cucumber slices, as you can see. There's some lemon slices, sabja seed, and I also added a little bit of electrolytes. This tastes so good and so refreshing. So, if you're new to my channel, a little bit about my nutrition therapy series. In this series, we focus on the powerful connection between your food, your psychology, and long lasting habits. What we eat, how we think, and how to achieve health in the long term. A lot of the times we, set goals for ourselves, but they are short term. So, like 3 weeks of dieting, X number of weeks of workout. But the truth is that our health is timeless. You're supposed to take care of your health for life, not just for a couple of weeks. But a lot of nuances play a role, like our eating patterns, emotional eating, our all or nothing mentality. And this is exactly what we talk about in our nutrition therapy series. Today, we're talking about a fundamental aspect of achieving success in your nutrition and health journey in the longer run: repetition and consistency. Have you ever wondered how some people seem to effortlessly maintain their healthy eating habits, workout routines, their sleep time, basically their life, and some people just struggle with even the basics of healthy eating? Well, this is what we are going to be talking about in today's episode. How our brain, repetition, and consistency play a pivotal role in shaping our habits and shaping our health in the longer run. First, let's talk about repetition and consistency. So, repetition means performing a behavior or an action regularly, and consistency means doing that action or behavior repeatedly over time without faltering. Think of it as a sturdy foundation for your eating habits. I don't know about you, but as a kid, I never really liked brushing my teeth. I used to find it very boring, but now I don't have to think twice about brushing my teeth. And the reason why I don't think about brushing my teeth twice, or why you don't think about brushing your teeth twice, is because you have done it over and over and over and over again. This is the power of repetition and consistency. When you do something repeatedly and consistently, doesn't matter whether that thing is positive or negative for your health, it is going to become your second nature. So, by consistently reinforcing our healthy eating habits, we ingrain these habits and these behaviors in our daily routine. Now, let's talk about the science behind building habits. So, when we learn something new, the prefrontal cortex, the front part of our brain, is heavily involved. This region is responsible for decision making, planning, goal setting, and as you repeat that behavior or activity over time, the neural pathways in your brain strengthen, and with time it becomes easier for you to do that action or to perform that behavior. But this is where it gets interesting. Once that behavior or action becomes a habit, it shifts from your prefrontal cortex to basal ganglia, which is a part of your hindbrain. The basal ganglia is associated with automatic behaviors and procedural memory, which means that your habit is now ingrained in your subconscious mind. This is why behaviors like brushing our teeth or tying our shoelaces become our second nature, and we don't have to think about those things enough. So, if you compare yourself with others, thinking that how is that person able to do this so easily, how is that person able to stick to their diet or their exercise routine so easily, how are they able to do things so effortlessly? This is how they have been doing it for a very long time. Let's talk about creating healthy habits. Now, in my previous episode, I did talk about it in detail, how you can create your healthy habits or how you can set goals. I would suggest that you go and watch that episode, but for now, I will explain it in brief. So, we start with creating clear, achievable goals, and then you break them down into manageable steps. So, some examples of goals could be drinking more water, exercising daily, eating less processed food, eating more vegetables, eating more fiber, incorporating more healthy fats in your diet. Keep in mind to not overwhelm your system with a lot of changes. कभी कभी जब हम कुछ improve करने की कोशिश करते हैं ना, तो वी गो ओवरबोर्ड, हमें लगता है ये भी चेंज कर दो, 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 बट इट नेवर वर्क्स. How many times have you tried to create a lot of change and it just ends up being a big ball of nothing? Try starting small. धीरे धीरे changes लाओ यार, एकदम changes मत लाओ अपने routine में, because बहुत overwhelm हो जाता है system and then you're not able to stay consistent with so many changes in your life. This is something I talk about in almost every nutrition therapy episode, which is be prepared for your bad days. गुड डेज सबके आते हैं, बैड डेज भी सबके आते हैं. शोइंग अप ऑन योर गुड डेज इज वेरी इजी, बट शोइंग अप ऑन योर बैड डेज इज very very difficult. Keep in mind that there are going to be social events, किसी की हेल्थ ठीक नहीं है, मे बी यू आर नॉट डूइंग वेल, इमोशनली टर्बुलेंट डेज बहुत होते हैं, देन हेक्टिक वर्क डेज बहुत होते हैं, ट्रैवलिंग होता है, देर आर ऑल सॉर्ट्स ऑफ bad days. I mean, they're not bad days, but they're just a little bit, they're just difficult days. Let's just call them that. So you will find it difficult to show up on your bad day. Let's try to understand this with an example. Let's say that you eat a lot of processed food, बहुत ज़्यादा बाहर का chips, cookies you eat, you order a lot of food, and one day you decide that enough is enough. अब से मैं घर का खाऊंगी या मैं घर का खाऊंगा. Okay, so you are focused on eating more home cooked meals. You are doing pretty well. 1 week has gone by and you are on track, but in week 2 there is a social event. Could be a family gathering, could be your parents' anniversary, could be something, could be anything, could be your friend's birthday, and you have to go. So, what do? What I see most people do is that they stress about it. Ki, oh my god, I'm going to fall off track. I promised myself that I am not going to eat from outside. But what you don't understand is that it's just one meal. If you go out with your friends or with your parents, it's just one meal. It could be one meal and one snack, but rest of the day is totally in your hand. You don't have to ruin the entire day. Does that make sense? आई मीन कई बार ऐसा होता है, हमें लगता है यार कि छोड़, अब तो बाहर का खा ही लिया, तो ये भी खा लेते हैं, वो भी खा लेते हैं, ये भी चल जाएगा, वो भी चल जाएगा, और फिर इतना गिल्ट आ जाता है. दैट इज नॉट नीडेड. यू कैन टेल योर सेल्फ कि हाँ यार ठीक है, आई थिंक आज 100% फॉलो नहीं हो पाएगा होम कुक्ड मील्स या हेल्दी ईटिंग, बट आई कैन ट्राई 60, बट आई कैन ट्राई 50. इट डजेंट हैव टू बी कि भाई पूरा ही फॉलो करना है. ये डेज आएंगे एंड यू डोंट हैव टू बी हार्ड ऑन योर सेल्फ कि यार मतलब मैं ये नहीं कर पा रही हूँ या मैं ये कर नहीं कर सकता हूँ. यू नो ये सबके लाइफ में आते हैं, मेरी लाइफ में भी आते हैं और आपकी लाइफ में भी आएंगे. ये आएंगे एंड यू कैन नॉट अवॉइड दीज थिंग्स. You cannot avoid these situations. What you can keep in mind is that maybe on some days you're not able to give your 100%, but can you give your 10%? Can you give your 20%? Repetition and consistency. Consistency का मतलब every day अपना 100% देना नहीं है. Consistency का मतलब है every day अपना कुछ देना, 10, 20, 30% to your goal. I hope that makes sense. So, what is the impact of consistency? Research shows that small, consistent changes over time can lead to significant improvements in your overall well being, weight management, and disease prevention. By prioritizing repetition and consistency, you're not only improving your physical health, but you're also improving your mental health by building resilience and by building strong neural pathways. So, we'll wrap up today's discussion. Remember that Rome wasn't built in a day, and your healthy habits are not going to build in a day, in a week, or a month. It's going to take some time. You just need to repeat your behaviors and your actions consistently over time to see a big change in the longer run. Do things that will give you benefits in the longer run, not in the shorter run. Usually जो भी चीज हमें shorter run में benefits देती है ना, longer run में it's not that great for us. But जो चीजें हमें long run में benefits देती है वो short term में करना बहुत मुश्किल लगता है. So keep in mind that your focus always has to be what is good for me in the longer run. And I know that repetition and consistency can seem very one boring, two ineffective in the shorter run. But trust me, this is how I started waking up at 5 a.m. And I get so many DMs about how do I wake up at 5 a.m. and how am I so consistent. I am consistent because I have been doing this for such a long time. Now I don't have to think about it twice. Getting up at 5 a.m. is not a big problem for me now. Initially, it was. definitely. But now it's not. So nothing is impossible. If you want to change any habit, you can change it. This is also almost over. Here is a reminder for you to have a glass of water. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you learned something from this video. I hope that you found this video helpful. Until next time, take really good care of yourself and make better choices.